Hello, guys. Welcome to the final episode of the full series for the Spring 1 edition. I cut the name a little bit. I think it was a little bit too long. It used to be edition 1, but now it is just called the Spring Season 2. So it's a rather than Spring Season, just Spring Edition 1, Spring Edition 2. So this is a Spring Edition 1, the final episode at that. Today, first, let me just make a little test over here. See if chat actually pops up. No, it does not. Okay, so chat is not popping up for YouTube. That means that I'm gonna need to have it open on two separate tabs. Let me just test on Twitch. This should be here. So let's go ahead and test it. It's not popping up either. Okay, so it did pop up, and now that I am live, it is not. So that is a small issue, but let me go ahead and try to fix it real quick. Where's Twitch over here? Do I have it installed? Yeah, I do. Okay, so Twitch, I'm gonna have chat on two separate monitors. Let me just go ahead and there we go. So chat should be here. Let's do one more test. There we go. So chat is over there. Both chats are there. So we are good to go. And also I was finishing enjoying one of my favorite songs, or at least a song of one of my favorite games, that is Phantasy Star Online. So with that being said, let's go ahead. No, actually I don't want to take the vote from. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on with what we have for today. Like some of you may know, the series is already over. That means that we already got a winner. I wish I could scroll a little bit easier. It used to be much easier to scroll before, but right now it is a little bit difficult. So first, let me go ahead and check how many tables there are, so that we can check tables rather than just players. Okay, so 42, 1. Let's go all the way to 62. Okay, so it's from table up to table 62. We're gonna check what table comes first, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to check the first 8 players. So let's go to my progression. Now let's go to results. No, sorry, overview. We're going to be checking the top 8 players, how they did their last game in the tournament. And then we're going to do the random. So as soon as we know what is the last table they are on, and that's what we're going to check right now, that's the last table that we will be seeing. Okay, so let me go ahead and go to table 1. So okay, so let's try to do this a little bit easier. I'm gonna click on Argon. I hate the new system. Argon. There we go. So Argon is table number 1, so it's stable against the Red Sea. That means that one of the top 8 players is already we're gonna be checking him right away. That is the player number, the 5th one. Let me just open the game once again. So this is Exalt Argon against a Red Sea. It was expected for a Red Sea to win with a very big win percentage. He had a 67% win percentage. But in the end, it was Argon that actually took the game and took the tournament. He was actually the first. So let's go ahead and check. We're going to check his point of view over here. Then we're going to check his deck over here. But first, let's go ahead and check Aretzi's deck. If I'm not mistaken, Aretzi is from Poland. And Argon must be from France. Oh, no, actually, Argon is from the US. Interesting. So we got a Polish player against a US player. Let's go ahead and check out first the Red Sea's deck. So this is Wybrancy. Not sure what that could mean in Polish. So Wybrancy. I'm sorry also if I am butchering the name. Sorry, give me a second. There we go. Let's go ahead and check his unique, the Foundry Mechanic. When play from hand, if you control 3 or more characters, create an Orsis recruit soldier in your hero expedition. When play from anywhere, if you control 4 or more characters, character you control gain 1 boost. So this is a 2 cost that actually is a 2 cost that is already summoning a soldier if you already have 3. And also a charge. So this is actually an extremely good, for a cost 2, and extremely good because not only does it give charge, but puts another body in the table to get boosted as well. The Resentful Robbing. If I'm facing a character, draw a card. But when play from anywhere, if you control, if your companion expedition is behind, create an Order soldier in your companion expedition. So kind of you want to always have your companion expedition behind. You're always going to try to play on the hero side. That's something to take note of. And the Katigirian Alchemist. When play from hand, you may put a card from behind in reserve. If you do, create 2 Order soldier in my expedition. Not bad at a network, just to make sure. There we go. So then we got Argon's deck. This is also Sigismar. This is called Sigis 26. Let's go ahead and check his unique. You have the Ozma. At dusk, if you control a token, draw a card. When another non-token character joins your expedition, up to 1 target character gains fleeting. So a very good control and draw unique. The Order Spy. When play from anywhere, you may put a card from your hand in reserve. If you do Sabotage, when play from hand, sorry guys. If you control a token, resupply. If you control a token, create an Order recruit soldier in target expedition. So this is essentially a 4/4/4 that can sabotage and can resupply. So lots of things this unique can do. And finally, the Jian Assembly Overseer. When play from anywhere, if you control 3 or more characters, draw a card. So lots of draw power here. And when play from reserve, you may activate the arrow abilities of target permanent you control. Actually, Argon plays with no permanence, so kind of a mute point over there. He is playing with the Ascended. So this is a very traditional Sigismar. Let's go ahead and see how the game plays out. So let's go to end of game. There we go. So Sieges against Sieges. That's our first match of the day. No token. This is a new Sieges, so that means no token on day 1 for either player. So they kind of need to play a little bit different. Sandman on the Red Sea side, so Red Sea goes ahead and advances by himself. Could have, okay, no, since they both played the companion side, that means that Argon has a little advantage, but not that great. With the Ascendant with the Gargoyle that can ascend. No, he's actually not going for the Ascend. Token right there. Goes on the other side, so most likely going to play the unique, not the unique I was expecting. At least he gets a draw, and in this case, is also going to get a sabotage. So one of the 2 cards is going away. Most likely the unique. Does this have anything special? I'm guessing he's going to take the unique away so that he doesn't have any more draw. There we go. Even though it could have been either way. Well, the Gargoyle again. No, this time decides not to mana. Okay, Argon playing it really, really close to the chest. Or this Trooper. Still moving forward over there. The 3 mana left. The second Sandman just going to put the trooper to sleep. So that means that this is again a 1-for-1. To a Red Sea having to play both of his Sandmans almost right away. Don't know if he should have saved them for later. Sleep is usually more devastating when it's close to the end game. So stops the Legate on the other side. Teamwork training to get rid of the Jack Frost. There we go. Can still do something. Yeah, he still has his trooper. No more plays from Meretzi. And the accountant is going to be enough for the 1-for-1 once again. Still in a stalemate. However, Argon has recovered a lot using that unique. He's actually two cards ahead. So probably going to sabotage, going to place a card down, going to get rid of the Legate and do the resupply and put a token up. The Bumblebee. The Trooper once again. Okay, so if you try to block me here, at least I will draw. Ascended Trooper on the other side. Once again, the 1-for-1. But Aretsi had to use all of its resources in order to try to push at least on one side. Yes, Argon is going to lose a card. But he still has a 2-card advantage. And with the sabotage, decides not to use the sabotage. Wants to play this one out. He has a good chance right there with the gargoyle. Also, he has sabotage on reserve. I think that can always sabotage. Yeah. There we go. The Bumblebee once again. Now we got the Ozma to block. The Gargoyle that's going to ascend. The Hero Expedition. The Accountant that's going to block completely. Take one of its boosts away in order also to put to sleep. And because the Gargoyle joins, he gives Fleeting to the Bumblebee. So that's basically it. Argon is going to move from both sides. Aretsi not able to do anything else. So just like that, Argon actually takes the game. And that is how that was a winning game of the tournament. Let's go ahead and see Aretsi if he lost against anyone else. Aretsi was undefeated. No, he had already lost against Skolver. And then he faced the champion in the end. So yeah, Aretsi had indeed lost. He was the top player of X2. That means with 2 losses. Now let's go ahead and check Elson. Come on. Like I said, I hate the new system. Here, there we go. So Elson, he was undefeated until round 5. And then he didn't lose another game. He actually took a game from PST to Tobis. And Tobis is not on the top 8. So that means that we have not saved one table. Well, it was expected from Elson to win. Actually with a 67% probability. So probability was indeed respected. The outcome was what the probability expected, rather. View game play. So we're gonna have Elson's point of view over here. We're gonna check Elson's deck over here, and then we're gonna check Toby's deck over here. So this is an Italian player against a French player. Let's go ahead and check Toby's 2 hungers. Let's go ahead and check the uniques. The Ozma. When I leave the expedition zone, if you control 1 or more landmarks, draw a card. The Hua Mulan. When played from reserve, I lose Fleeting. And when played from anywhere, resupply. the Smoldering Gin. When I leave the expedition zone, put the top card from your deck in your mana zone as an exhausted mana orb. And when play from reserve, if you have 6 or more mana orbs, target character in play or in reserve gains boosts. So kind of pushing into the end game. And other than that, he uses the Harpooner for sabotages. Has the Parliament of Ashes in rare, but the Haven Bravos in common. So most likely, this deck might be very hungry for rares, and it's actually 2 being consumed by the hunger. So that is Toby's deck. Let's go ahead and check Elson's. So Elson, this is a Kakariko Tier. I think this is a reference to Kakariko Village. Let's go ahead and see the Kilong Elemental. When played from hand, you may put a card from your hand in reserve. May. So this is equivalent to the rare. Play from anywhere, you may put a card from your hand in reserve. If you do resupply, the Sneezer Shroom. You may put a card from your hand in reserve. Sorry, is it? Yes, it is. You may put a card from your hand in reserve. If you do, I gain Anchored. And when played from reserve, up to 1 target character gains Fleeting. Then the Sneezer Shroom, the second Sneezer Shroom, I gain Anchored when played from anywhere. You may put a card from your hand in reserve. If you do, each player draws a card that is also played from anywhere. So a lot of draw with its Sneezer Shroom and Kaori herself. So let's go ahead now and go to end of game and see how it plays out. First turn is going to be for Elson, but Elson does not draw on the first turn, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe she does. Yep, she does. Okay, so being Kaori, starting with Kaori is a very big advantage. There we go. So Tobias does a double advance, while Elson does just a single advance. But at least there is the anchored character that may be able to help in the next day. Yggdrasil goes to mana. Daughter of Yggdrasil goes to mana. Now we have Buddha, sorry. The Mighty Jin, just to block it completely. Sorry, nothing else he can do. Just starts setting the terrain for a festival win. Actually has a second festival on hand that could put everything to sleep. He would need something to anchor. Has something to anchor, so this could be a very fast win from Elson. Let's see if Tobias has something to be able to take away. To the Muna Caregiver, just base 1. Parliament of Ashes. Draws a card. The Counting Sheep. Those are 3 characters out. Everything is put to sleep. The Jumping Frog. Now we have the Fleeting character and just need the Anchor character. There we go. The Moon Eruption. Most likely going to take the festival. There we go. Still moving ahead. Elson still has an advantage. Sorry, Toby still has the advantage, but there is another festival on hand. And with a little bit more mana, it might not be enough from Tobias to actually win this one. And he has lots of after use. So Ozma is able to move on the other side. The Drowsy Dodo is going to be put to sleep. Another anchor right there. And once again, now Tobias has no mana left. So that's basically it. He does have everything that he needs. And just like that, Elson has a festival win. A very fast festival win at that. So that was stable. That was number 2. That was against Tobias, like we saw. Now let's go to his spam. So his spam played against Culver. gonna open this one 3 times. Culver is one of the top 8 players. That means that we are saving 1 table. Let's go ahead and let's see. First of all, it was expected for Culver to win with a 57% chance. In the end, his spam with his 43% chance was able to beat the odds. Let's go ahead and check this one over here. Then your deck, and finally Culver's deck. So this is a Belgium player against a Spanish player. Just want to check something out. 3, 6, 8. There we go. Yes. Okay, so first let's go ahead and check Culver's deck out. This is a Ren 2.0. The Isunboshi. Up to 1 target card gains a sleep. You may have it gain 2 boost. So this is basically a Sandman for cost 2. The Forest Nymph. At dusk, if I'm facing an expedition in plant, draw a card. Otherwise, each player draws a card. There we go. Also the Eru, Emissary of the Wild. 1 play from hand. You may have target character facing me gain anchored. If you do, target token character defects. Then when I leave the expedition zone, if I was fleeting, create a Woolly Back 1/1/1 animal token in target expedition. And when the support ability, you may exhaust target card in reserve. There we go. That is Culver's deck with a Ren called Ren 2.0. Let's go ahead and check his spam. His spam should be with an Axiom deck. And there it is. And name Fall Series. Thank you very much, his spam. He had to adapt, so we are all certainly not going to see any Dr. Frankenstein, but let's go ahead and check his uniques. We have first the Gavroche. One play from reserve, create an early token in your landmarks, and if you control a character in each expedition, when also from reserve, create an early token in your landmarks. Otherwise, create one in each player's landmark. So not bad at all. Then we got the Merlin, that is Scout 3. So by paying 3, you may put a card from your hand in reserve. If you do, you may send to reserve any number of target characters with total cost of 4 forest, 4 mountain or less, with total strength of 4 mountain or less. And the Wingsuit Jumper, when played from hand, you may rush. If you do, draw a card. When I leave the expedition zone, if I was fleeting, target character in reserve gains 1 boost. So you kind of want to have her if you have something in reserve when she leaves the expedition zone. So that is the deck for his spam. Now let's go ahead and check the game to the end. There we go. Got a classical opening for Trace. Going to play first is 1. The Resentful Robin. Going to go to block him completely. So he just plays another card right there. And he could have blocked completely. No, because it's besides. Yeah, this is the common Persephone. So it doesn't change forest, just adds forest. Regardless of what it was before. Since this is a Ren and he has moved with Forest, he can go ahead and put a card in reserve, draw a card, and then put a card in reserve. He puts the Copelia, so that means that Copelia is actually given support right now. With a 3/3, not bad at all. First turn for Culver, just goes ahead and plays the Persephone. The resupply with a little bit more of strength. And there he goes up to 2. So going to do the double advantage. Not sure why he decided to go with a resupply, but okay. Well, it was on one of the few options that he had other than sacrificing a sabotage. But he could have done a sabotage and take a card away from Culver. because Culver can draw a lot, so I think it was a much better option to just do the sabotage. But okay. So now we have the Grems up to 3. Not going to take anything away. The Ugly Duckling on the other side. 2-1-2. Going to put the Grems up to 4. And most likely going to bring the Ugly Duckling. No, going to take the Resentful Robin away in order to draw a card and go up to 3. No more cards from Culver. Still one expedition ahead from Culver. The Kilon Burst right there. Going to go away. He just wants to push. Oh, because he feels that with the rare Avalanche, it might be enough. So, and after you with the Frozen Delivery to another Frozen Delivery. Now he cannot use the Avalanche, so he just kind of passes to see what's going on. He can play both cards right now. Going to lose the ability from reserve. Going to Ascend on the other side. This goes up to 4 on both Mountain and Water. No more plays from Culver. Going to draw a card. And of course, going to leave the Salvager behind. And the Kilon Cylinder goes up to 4 charges. Once again, he spent 1 expedition behind. Culver getting closer and closer. Going to draw a card and put 1 card down, with that being the Lyra Contortionist, that of course doesn't consume a slot on the reserve. Playing a Rin. This is a card that actually Rin wants to have a lot. Rin wants to win as much as it can by Forest. Another after you. Plays the magic beans in order to give that 1 slot. Plays it from reserve for 2. The Gargoyle that ascends on the other side. Going to get rid of that Fiore. Places the Gargoyle once again up to 6. This is going to be 3, going to go 5, going to go to 7. So that means that this is going to be the double advance from his spam. And finally, he's able to turn the game around, being the 1 ahead and with a decent amount of cards as well. Culver is going to not going to overcharge his reserve because there is the Lyra Contortionist. Most likely the Haven going to go away. No, decides to get rid of the Paju. Gargoyle there gets a token. So 4 with the Gargoyle on the hero side. Just gets another resupply on the... Sorry, just another resupply. Another Gargoyle, the 3rd Gargoyle right now doing its appearance. Using up both Havens in order to push up to 3. Still not enough. Going to play on the other side, forcing a game on that side, and with the double hook, he can... Yeah, right now he's not winning, but he can just hook again and bring the Amelia to the other side, or even take the Gargoyle on the other side, winning with a 0. So he had both options on his hand, and just like that, he is able to win on both sides because he actually needed water, so that's why he didn't take it away. And just like that, he's actually able to stop and overtake, so that means that he actually did 8 movements So let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the other one 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so 8 movements rather than just the 7 that he needed to win just barely. So that's why he moved the gargle on the other side. I hadn't noticed that he was winning on water. So just moving the gargle was much better because he would move on both sides. That was his spam. Now let's go to El Wiwi. By the way, this Argon was the best Bravos. Elson was the best Lyra. His spam was the best Axiom. Then comes a Red Sea, if I'm not mistaken. And unfortunately, El Wiwi that plays Lyra is not the best Lyra because that honor goes to Elson. Just wanted to mention that. Oops, sorry. So El Wiwi ends up at position 4. This is the 4th. And this is table number 2. So we are looking at El Wiwi and Spartacus on the same breath. Spartacus is not a contender right now. He actually had 12 points. That means that he was competing with El Wiwi to see who ends up in 5th or 4th. Sorry, no. El Wiwi had already 12. Yeah, Spartacus already had 12. Yeah, so they were fighting each other to see who ends up over on the top over here. El Wiwi had 72. If Spartacus had won, he would have had 78 because his last opponent would not have given him points. He would have been a 14 and he would have actually ended up 2nd. Basically, we don't know Elson and H-Spam how well they did, but since this is the new format, I really don't like to go back and forth for that. Did I already open it? Yeah. Okay, so it was expected for El Wiwi to win with a 58% chance against Spartacus. So the odds were not defied this time. Let's go ahead here and check the match from El Wiwi's point of view. Then let's go ahead and check El Wiwi's deck, and finally Spartacus' deck. So I'm almost sure this is a French duel. Yeah, this is a French duel. So let's go ahead. Ooh, just give me 1 second. I need to check something out. In the meantime, let me go ahead and load Spartacus' deck. Qualif. Okay, so what? Oh, I'm first. Okay. There we go. So I just wanted to check something real quick. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So let's go ahead and check his uniques. He's playing with Bazira, by the way. Only 1 hunger. Ouroboros Trickster. 1 play from hand, roll a die. On a 4+, I gain 2 boosts. On a 1, 2, 3, I gain 1 boost. When I leave the expedition zone, draw a card. Then we got another Ouroboros Trickster. Roll a die. On a 4+, I gain 2 boosts. On a 1, 2, 3, I gain 1 boost. When I leave the expedition zone, if I have 2 or more boosts, draw a card. The support ability, the next character you play this turn from hand activates his reserve abilities. And finally, the council. I have played against this council. This council is pretty good council. Cannot activate the arrow, hand, or reserve abilities of characters facing me. When I go to the reserve from the expedition zone, draw a card. When a character joins the character you control gains 1 more boost, draw a card. So this actually gives, since this is Bazira, as soon as you get him down and you can start boosting your characters 1 by 1, this unique helps a lot to give him card advantage. And a Bravos with card advantage is something to be reckoned. It's something to be afraid of. Then we got El Wiwi. El Wiwi is playing with his pen. That's also the full series spring, so thank you very much, El Wiwi, for that. Let's go ahead and check his uniques. By the way, he's using common martingale, so basically taking them as the virtual mana. We got the Lyra Aerialist. If there's a spell in your reserve, draw a card, otherwise resupply. Let's play from anywhere. Also, when play from anywhere, you may put a card from your hand in reserve. If you do, sabotage. The first Hydracina, I Am Eternal. At noon, draw a card. When a card leaves your reserve during the afternoon, I gain 1 boost. Being this event, that means that it can get lots of boosts rather quickly. The second Hydracina, I Am Eternal. At noon, you may discard a card from your reserve. If you do, roll a die. On a 4+, draw a card. On a 1, 2, 3, resupply. When a card leaves your reserve during the afternoon, draw a card. So that is it for the uniques and the general deck from Alwiwi. Now let's see how the game played out. Okay, the colorful Kuko on the companion side, putting it to sleep. Not sure what was the main objective. I'm guessing just trying for him not to get too further ahead. Not giving him the option to get her up either. There we go. So we have the not able to use. Going to sleep the other one. Yeah, going to sleep the other one. So the Telarian Skater is going to give 1 boost to the Kuko from the hero side. And with Bazira, it's going to give it another 1. So that means that it is going to be able to move forward. Just 1 expedition ahead. Also, it's anchored. That means that it still has its 3. And the Duel of Grit goes back to Alwiwi's hand. The Hather is not going to be able to push. Trickster on the companion side gets 2 boosts. So a tough position for Alwiwi. Probably going to know. Actually gave it to the Kuko. So the Aerolith is going to be able to draw, put down a card to sabotage. That of course gives 1 more boost to the colorful Kuko, and with 6, there we go. The Duel of Grids is going to be able to take out the Kuko. That means that Spartacus is going to move 1 and Alwiwi is going to move 1. Just gets back the Sleight of Hand. So Alwiwi still playing his game, still rotating cards around, Spartacus going to overcharge his reserve. No, because 1 card goes to mana. Yeah, I had forgotten the nuance of the rare Kuko. There we go. So ramping up 1 from Spartacus. Not sure how. Oh, because of the colorful Kuko, right? So the Martingale goes down in order to sabotage. The Blade Dancer once again. The Blade Dancer being played on the companion side, going up to 2. Puts down the, not going to be able to use it right now, but cannot get rid of anything right now. The colorful Kuko being played on the hero side, 1 mana left, going to lose a card. And we're going to lose a card. I think it's going to be the Martingale. Yeah, the Martingale is lost. He can now safely block the colorful Kuko with the Mighty Djinn. Most likely. No, actually decides to block it on the companion side. Forces Spartacus to push. Now with the Requiem, going to get rid of the Blade Dancer. Okay, interesting. 3 mana left. Going to play the physical training on the Carrion in order to advance on that side. and give one more boost just for good measure, going up to 6. The Sleight of Hand, returning the Requiem to hand. No more plays from Elwiwi. Going to play the Requiem to get rid of that card in order to still move forward. There we go. So Spartacus right now has been able to recover 1 card. And well, Wee is going to ramp back up to the same level as Spartacus, but we have the threat of the hunger. Not sure if it's that much of a threat against Elwiwi, but it is there nonetheless. Decides to play a card for 0, the draw for 0. The Chiron that is played right now goes up to 2. That means that there is no hunger. Draws once again and gets another draw just for good measure. Goes up to 5. Doesn't have anything to be able to block it, but he can get enough boosts in order to block it. Right now it's up to 5. Uses to get it back. The Martingale. So this is up to 6 right now. He is able to block. Going to take it to 7 with the Anansi. And with the 2 mana left, just going to push on the other side. So that means that the Wee gets a double advance right now, blocking all the boosts that actually that Chiron got. Going to lose 3 cards from reserve. And at least he did what he wanted to do. The Hydrocena could have not come at a better time. Colorful Kuko for 3. That means that there is no hunger. Plays the Hydrocena on the other side. Trying to push over that 2. After that, returns the Sleight of Hand. And draws. Why did he draw 3? Oh, when a card no. When a card leaves your reserve during the afternoon, draw a card. There we go. So that is why. Okay, blocked right now. The Chiron going to be able to move forward. Going to lose 1 card from reserve. Still in a stalemate. Oh, yeah, because the Inkcaster is able to bring back a card. The Jewel of Grit, that's going to be able to get rid of virtually anything. So it gets rid, of course, of the Colorful Kuko. Just with 2 mana. And draws a card. The Hunger, there goes the Hunger. But the Hunger, does he have? He can just push on the other side with the Mighty Djinn. And if he actually gives Fleeting to the Hunger, that would be not that helpful. Nothing else from Spartacus. He just plays the other Hydrocena on the other side. He's able to draw his deck again because of the draw that he actually got from the Hydrocena. Lots of options from Elwiwi right now. This one now, it does have the Fleeting. That means that it can actually just use a Requiem, but it's probably going to save it for the end. Going to make him spend more mana. The Hydrocena still going to get rid of that Hydrocena. Only 3 mana left. Still has options to move on both sides, actually. Yeah, going to use a Cloth Cocoon to take away that Hydrocena. Had other options as well. No, didn't. I could have sworn I saw another Requiem. Okay, draws once again. Can block with the Martingale. And with the... actually can block with lots of cards. Not only with the Martingale, he did have the option of the Mighty Djinn, using the Will-O-Wisp, and just for good measure, also put him back his cards on hand with that Incaster, and with that he actually overtakes, and that's how he took Spartacus down. Spartacus did a very good delay the hunger as much as he could, but once we had all those cards, especially the Hydrocina, that when a card leaves the reserve draws a card, that is still in limbo while the cards from the hunger are being taken away. So since that was an ability present when the reserve was taken away, he is able to draw, and that is what actually helped him cycle a lot faster through his deck. There we go. So that was a wee. That was player number 4. Now let's go to player number 5. This is a Retzi, so that means that we have already seen him. 6 is Culver, we have already seen him. So let's go to Tetetotem. Tetetotem play against Ilka. In the end, Ilka is not on the top players. There we go. Ilka is on he's a 30th. So that means that next we're gonna see Shiryu. So with that, let's go ahead and check out the totem. There we go. So the totem, it had a 65% probability of winning. That means that the odds were not beaten this time. Let's go ahead and have here his point of view. Then we're gonna have here his deck. And finally, we're gonna have here Ilka's deck. So this is a French against a French player as well. A duel of French players again. Now, let's go ahead and check Ilka. Is Ilka? I'm gonna say it's Ilka. This is a Fen deck, so this is most likely going to be a Lyra match. We have Lyra's Call. You may discard a card from your reserve. If you do, up to one target card gains gives Anchored. But you need to discard a card from your reserve in order to do it. Give me just a second. Okay. The second one's Noble Commando. When played from your hand, you may exhaust target card in reserve directly. Doesn't need to throw a die to see if you roll back. I just want to check something out. Yeah, you don't need to roll a die in order to see if you need to exhaust a card from your reserve. And then we got only 2 uniques, it seems. Yeah, only 2 uniques from Ilka. Let's go ahead now and check the totem. The totem does have 3 uniques. And sorry, this is the Sigismund. This is the Sigismund that plays a lot like if he had a Fen. You're gonna see in just a second why. So this is the Paper Herald. When another non-token character joins your expedition, if you control a token, resupply. So that's kind of where the Fen comes in. The support ability to create a soldier recruit, a Norris recruit, sorry. Then we got the Jian Assembly Overseer. When another non-token joins your expedition, resupply. The support ability, you may activate the arrow abilities. He doesn't take any permanents either. And finally, the Ordis Trooper. When another non-token character joins your expedition, resupply. The next card you play this afternoon costs 1 less. That's when played from hand. When played from anywhere. From play from anywhere. If you control a token, create an Ordis Recruit in your companion expedition. So always kind of putting 1/1. Also, the next card costs 1 less. And the next card you play gives resupply. So this one is a very good card for the end game when you got mid to late game, when you got lots of mana to take advantage of all the resupplies that you get. So with that, let's go ahead and let's see how this game plays out. So let's go to end of game. And first turn is for Ilka. Remember now that Sigismund doesn't have his token either. Not today, at least. Okay, the Macfin Quarter. Face against a common Ebenezer Scrooge. Not a card you see that often, but the totem with that is able to move ahead. Gets rid of the Jack Frost. He knows the Macfang is most likely not going to be played from reserve today. Does have a resupply, is able to, most likely going to get some resupplies. Going to sacrifice? No. Cost one less, that means that he gets a card. Not sure if it was the best idea to get so much resupply right now. Going to put his card to sleep. Okay, so he's not overcharging his reserve because he's taking advantage of the Ebenezer. Still with his advantage of one expedition ahead. I think he may sacrifice a token in order to draw today. Or the unique Lyra Signet, draw a card, and a 3+ does the resupply as well. So that means that the Anansi is up to a 5/5/5 as of right now. Plays the Martingale on the other side just to block it. The Ugly Duckling is going to be able to keep him moving forward. The resupply right there. Gives Fleeting to the unique. He decides to sacrifice. What are you going to sacrifice? The unique, like I was expecting, in order to draw 2 cards, since that it was already going away. He just took advantage of that, and he's able to keep his advantage up. The Martingale indeed is a 5/5/5 after the... So it was outside. It was more. It had more strength than the 2/10, 2/12. Sorry, 2/11. And just like that, the totem keeps his advantage up. Still pushing for mana. Going to push for the draw right now. The Lyra Signet, the reserve from 4. A little bit heavy right there. Doesn't get the resupply. Most likely has another Anansi on hand. And with the exhaust, he's able to push right now for the... And he can just sacrifice a token. And he's still pushing on both sides. Ilka has nothing left to do, so that the totem actually pushes on both sides and gets 3 expeditions ahead. I thought that was a pretty risky move using the Signet from reserve. I know that you have an Anansi on hand, but the Jack Frost came to the rescue, exhausting the Twinkle Twinkle on the reserve so that he couldn't use it as a virtual mana. Right now we have the Inkcaster that will most likely be used once again, the Acapella training, not giving him many options to use the cards twice. Still pushing on the companion side since it is unique. Once again using the Acapella training as an after you. 3 mana left. Pushes the Sandman from reserve, gets another card in reserve. Ilka has nothing left to do, and just like that, the totem is able to do the double advance and join on the mountain region. And just like that, the game is over. He's going to get a card back, but the game had already been decided. And just like that, the totem takes the game. Now, this is the last one of the top 8. This is going to be Shiryu. Shiryu was on table 14. That means that we're going to be moving from table 15 onwards. Let's go ahead and get the sequence for later. Also going to be doing it. Okay, that moving through so many tables. At least they're kind of close. I'm gonna try to move to the closest. I'm gonna go for the first one and then move to the one closest and then the next 4. So that because since it is actually pretty hard to move on the new tournament layout, I don't like not being able to choose exactly what I want to feature. So Shiryu was not expected to win. This one actually defied the odds. Shiryu had a 43% chance of winning against Kri 29,000. It's over 29,000. So let's go ahead and check. First, we're gonna have here the game in Shiryu's point of view. I'm guessing Shiryu is from Japan. And then we're gonna have Kri's point of view over here. No, actually Shiryu is from Switzerland, and Kri is from France. So let's go ahead and check his deck out right here. So this is a Teja. His unique, the Muna Caregiver. When another character joins your expedition, if you control 3 or more characters, up to 1 plant gains 2 boosts. Very, very strong card. The Muna Caregiver. When another character joins your expedition, if you control 3 or more characters, up to 1 target plant gains 2 boosts. And finally, the Orde's Gatekeeper. When another character joins your expedition, target character in your other expedition, the one not in, gains 2 boosts. So, boosts all around, both from Teja and from other characters joining your expedition, with certain conditions, but not that hard to pull off with a Teja deck. Or a Muna deck, sorry. Then let's go ahead and check Shiryu's deck. Shiryu was playing with a Sol and Halua Solo Bolo version 1.5. No, sorry, it was itching. There we go. So let's go ahead and see his unique. So we got this Smoldering Jin. When played from reserve, you may immediately pass. If you do, put the top card of your deck in your mana zone as an exhausted orb. Since you are passing, you could even have it as a ready orb, but okay, it is as an exhausted orb. If you're the first player to draw a card, that is when played from hand, and the support ability up to 1 target character gains fleeting. Diana, Organ Agent. When played from hand, you may have target character gain a sleep. If it's facing me, Sabotage, that's played from hand. When played from reserve, you may immediately pass. If you do, each character in target expedition gains 1 boost. A very good ability to have. And finally, Halua, Raging Leviathan, Gigantic Tough 1. When played from reserve, target character gains 1 boost. Otherwise, it's just a gigantic 6/5/5 for 6 or 7 cost. A very good thing to have. And the reserve ability, create an airlit token in your landmarks. There we go. That is Shiryu's deck. Now let's go ahead and go to end of game with, let's go to end of game. There we go. First play is for Kri. Yeah, most likely not going to play. Ooh, does have the colorful Kuko. The Talarian Skater played right away on the companion, going to play the colorful Kuko on the other side. Just because it wouldn't make sense to play it on the companion side because you're not going to move forward. So 1 for 1 right now. Now it's the Mana Flare goes away. Most likely just going to play the Tengu and then pass. The Tengu goes to 3. The Aloe Vera is blocking right now. Going to get a token in. Nothing else from Kri either. Once again, the 1 for 1. But now he is able to play both cards from reserve. He has enough mana as long as Kri doesn't sabotage. He should be able at least to play both on one side. Goes with his own colorful Kuko on the companion side. So just play the colorful Kuko on the hero side. Nothing else from Kri. Doesn't need to play anything else. Once again, the 1 for 1. Moving up to having the Tanae. This is Tanae? The Tain being able to get anchored. Get rid of the Leviathan Spotter. I think this is Tanae's turn. On the other side, rather than going on the companion side, decides to push on the hero side to have it there for the next day, a second token in. So once again, we have the 1/1, but the Tanae, the Tain, sorry, is going to be hurting a little bit right now. Animal, an adventure. Okay. So nothing, just after you right now. Going to move up to the 4. It's technically moving forward. Going to push with the Leviathan Spotter in order to gain a boost. Not enough to block. Well, it is enough to block it right now, but Shiryu can just pass. Get in the Halua, and it is a 1 and not able to move forward. Okay, so it is a no, because the unique allowed him to get 2 more boosts. Okay, so Krikri actually gets ahead. This time Shiryu is 2 expeditions away, while Krikri is only 1 away. Most likely the Tain is going to go away. But there is the hunger right now. Unfortunately, Shiryu goes first, so I don't think the hunger will be played. Saves both his hungers. He's most likely going to go for the gigantic. No, goes for the hunger right away. A risky move from Shiryu because Krikri could just take it on the other side. This is not gigantic. Puts it to sleep, okay. Gets a Halua out, and he was lucky enough that Krikri actually didn't have anything to fight off the Halua on the companion side, or he made a mistake. Most likely Krikri might have made a mistake. It's hard for me to believe that he didn't have any cards. The Subduende is going to exchange the boosts. However, still drawn right now. And with the Halua, the giant on both sides, I don't think it's going to be enough. Puts the hunger to sleep again, but the giant is still right there. Normal play from Shiryu. It is a gigantic double Halua. Is able to move forward, but only on one side, and with a double move from Shiryu, this is enough for Shiryu actually to take the game because he overtook. But I am extremely doubtful that Shiryu had no cards left on hand on that play. So let me just go ahead and check out Shiryu's point of view, because it is extremely, I am extremely doubtful on that. Halua, no. When he played the, what turn was it? When he played the hunger. There we go. So the hunger was played on 62. So I'm gonna go ahead and check this game again, but this time from Krikri's point of view. We're gonna move forward to 62 and see what he had on hand. We're gonna go to Krikri, see if he did a misplay and actually pass when he didn't mean to. So let's go to a specific move fast. Let's go to 62. And he did. He indeed. But the Requiem, only a fleeting character, and 4 or less. So yeah, Shiryu risked it all without hunger. It did pay off because right now, Krikri had no characters left in order to push on the other side. If he would have even had a Muna caregiver, it would have been enough. But he did not have any cards on hand enough for him to do it, or to take on the game. Unfortunate, extremely unfortunate for Krikri that he was not able to push just as the hunger came out. And in the end, it is amazing that risk from Shiryu was actually enough for him to take the game. Okay, so now we're going to go for progression of all, the overview. We're going to go to table 37 right here on step 8. So let me just go to 37. I need to do it like this. This is the main part that I hate about this. But let's go to 37. There we go. So this is La Chose against Shoro. Let's make sure that this is a finished game. It is a finished game indeed. It was a 51%, 47. Okay, I thought it would have been a little bit higher considering they were so close. It was a 47 chance for Shoro to... Sorry, a 47 chance for La Chose to win. SPTFU La Chose to win. He actually defied the odds and took the game. So we're going to have his point of view right here. Then we're going to check La Chose deck over here. And finally, Shoro's deck over here. There we go. I think this is full French. No, Shoro. Sorry. Shoro is indeed a Brazilian player. La Chose is the French player. Okay, there we go. So let me go ahead and... He played with... Okay, so Shoro, it seems that at least right away decided he may be using the demo deck. Let's see if that is indeed what he decided to use in the end. It seems he did use the demo decks, and La Chose went with his own deck, with a Kojo deck. This is the Uroboros Trickster. You may play a card from your hand and you may put a card from your hand in reserve. If you do roll a die, on a 4+ I gain 2 boosts, on a 1, 2, 3 I gain 1. Typical Uroboros unique. The reserve ability, if you control 1 or more landmarks, draw a card. There you go. Does he have landmark? He does have landmarks. And can take advantage, of the Haven Bravos Bastion, especially with this unique. Then we got the Talarian Skater. If I'm in the only character in my expedition, when played, if I'm the only character in my expedition, target character gains 1 boost and fleeting. When a character you control gains fleeting, you may exhaust target card in reserve. Kind of a tough way to play her. You need to play her when she is not the only character. The scout ability is a little bit difficult to play because you will play her. She's not. You can play her as an after you if there's already a character there. Then for a 5/1/3 could be, but it is a tough pill to swallow. And finally, the Fire Rabbit. When played from hand, you may have me gain fleeting if you do resupply. When played from anywhere, you may put a card from your hand in reserve. If you do, I gain 2 boosts. There we go. So now let's go ahead and see how the game played out to the end. So let's go to end of game. There we go. Turung against Kojo. So, since it is first play for La Chose, just goes ahead and plays a very heavy deck. Gives a card down to La Chose, but is able to move forward. And since Shoro is now playing with Turun, if he would have done it on the next day, or he has another one on hand, he can actually draw 1 in return. Going to get rid of that Sabotage. Plays a Nourish. Gets a boost in, and just going to play the... What does this one do? You may return... Okay, so he returned permanent to hand and exchange it for a mana seed. Since he gave a mana seed, he can actually... That was a gift. He can actually get a gift from himself, but he's going to overcharge a Nor. The Noosh is going to be taken away. Now La Chose has lots of card advantage. which is a little bit dangerous for a Bravos. Lazy Haven right back. Another resupply. Going to get rid of it again. No, it's only from hand. Okay. Only from hand. Going to give 3 boosts, most likely. Sorry, can give 4 boosts, but can give 2 on the reserve. That's right. The mana seed in order to just give 1 more, just for good measure, because he didn't actually have anything to do. It could have been a risky move from Shadow's part, but it played off in the end. Especially because he has that 7/7/5 in reserve. Now, first move from Shadow. The second Daughter of Yggdrasil, now he's going to be able to draw as well. But he's way, way behind in card advantage. Now he plays the Daughter of Yggdrasil on the other side. But the Lashos did have indeed the Priya in order to move forward and get a airlift on his side. So unfortunately, he's going to lose a card, going to lose the Parliament of Ashes, but still has lots of card advantage and 2 intimidations, most likely 1 going to go away. 7 mana each. Still tied in expeditions, but it is a matter of time before Lashos can actually turn it around because he has more options. Going to get a boost in order to give a resupply, and going to get a resupply himself. The Nari, not that good right now, not what you want to see. At least the Daughter of Yggdrasil is able to block it. 2 mana left. Going to get rid of the Daughter of Yggdrasil, of course. No more plays from Lashos and Shadow. Yeah, that was what I was thinking. Just put it all in the reserve because you have already 1 on the companion side. However, we see that there is sabotage from Lashos' side, so that is kind of risky because you don't know what will be able to be played. Lashos actually does a ramps up. Most likely going to the Isunboshi. Yeah, the Isunboshi was the most likely candidate to go away. Another resupply right now, most likely. Yeah, there we go. Gives another resupply, forcing him to use from the reserve if he doesn't want to lose it. The powered Inari goes away. There's another Inari that is enough for him to move forward. The Priya on with the 5. It's going to be tough thing to follow, to beat. 2 mana left from each one. Now pushing on the companion side. Going on to another day, and now the resupply actually hurt Lashos because he's actually overcharged his reserve twice. And he actually loses 2 cards as well. His card advantage is little by little dwindling. Intimidation goes away. Shadow right now, there is no hunger yet. I don't think that he does have a hunger, if I'm not mistaken. So pushing on both sides, being able to block almost block right now. Going on the other side. Going to take the... Oh no, this is a common one. The common one doesn't defect. The Agronomist is going to give a mana seed. He also gets a mana seed. Going to get rid of the Agronomist. The Reka Agronomist, without those last 2, gets a souvenir in. Going to get the boost. Going to give a resupply. The resupply I don't think is going to be enough. Going to use the physical training, going up to 7. And just like that, he is winning on both sides. Shadow cannot do anything else. And that is how Lashos actually took the game. There we go. We are going to have 1 more game today, just to feature a few more players after our top 8. and then we're going to be calling it a day. So let's go ahead and see table 47. So 47 is luckily close by. There we go, 47. Come on. There we go. So this is Yuxebul. Oh, sorry. No, come on. And this was abandoned. So we actually need to move to number 28. Once again, I need to move over here. 28. 28. 28. 28. There we go. Wyvern 0 me. It was not abandoned. It was expected for Wyvern to win with a 51% chance at that. So I'm guessing this will be our last match of the day. So let's go to... Okay, so it was expected for him to win with a 51% chance. So this was a pretty close match. Let's go for Wyvern. Now, that is the point of view. This is his deck. And then Zero Me 007 deck. I think Zero Me is German. Indeed, he's German. And Wyvern 98 is an American player, a US player. So we have Zero Me with his Atsadi, Lady of the Lake. You may pay 1. If you do, you may discard target permanent. Iofe, Fire Avatar, Scout 2. If I'm the only character in my expedition, target character gains 2 boosts and fleeting. And finally, the Mighty Simbi. When my expedition moves forward, put the top card of your deck in your mana zone as an exhausted mana orb. Now let's go ahead and check Wyvern. Wyvern is playing with a Rinfest, so indeed he has 3 festivals over here. We got the Sneezer Shroom. When played from anywhere, I gain Anchored. When played from hand, draw a card. When played from reserve, you may pay 1. If you do, up to 1 target card gains fleeting. So a very a bit of a control here. A little bit of a control option, sorry, there. The Leshy. When played from reserve, you may discard a card from your reserve. If you do, I gain 1 boost per expedition in plant. When played from hand, if I'm in an expedition in plant, the next character you play this afternoon costs 1 less. And the support ability, target character you control with hand costs 4 or less gains a sleep. And then we got the Muna Druid. You may put a card from your hand in reserve. If you do, target character other than me gains fleeting, anchored, or asleep. This one is enabling the Lyra Festival. So let's go ahead and see how this game ended up. There we go. First play from Matsadi. Going to keep the festival at all costs. Bouncer right away on the companion side, so he just wins on the other side with a 1. Doesn't need to do anything else really. So 1 for 1. Rin able to move ahead, not due to plant, so not going to be able to draw a card. Now has a chance to move forward due to plant if he plays it correctly. Just goes right away and shows the Lyra Festival. And Zero Me just pushes ahead also with the Mighty Jin. Don't think he has enough to be able to win just yet. He needs a few more cards to draw. Still not enough. Going to get rid of the Mana Druid. The Merchant is most likely going to go on. Oh no, not being blocked. Pushes ahead on the other side. Duel of Grid, going to get rid of the Muna Caregiver. There we go. He's able to block and anchor his Aloe Vera. That means that he's able to move forward again and puts the game right back on a stalemate with card advantage from Wyvern. Not only is he going to draw 2 cards, but also going to get a resupply right now. So 5 play options from Wyvern. The Drowsy Dodo, it does get a sleep. So we have an asleep and fleeting and or asleep. We get another character out. Normal plays from Zero Me, gets an anchored character, and if he can get a character to sleep, he does have enough. And just like that, with the festival, Wyvern takes the game. No more plays possible because he already has a fleeting, an anchored, and a sleep character. And just like that, Wyvern takes the game. So with that, guys, I thank you very much for being here today. Anyone who watched this afterwards as a VOD, thank you as well very much. I should be able to come back on Thursday with at least one round of the Fall Series Spring Edition 2. So I hope to see you guys over there. This was the top matches and a few matches to just sprinkle out the love on the stream. So that'll be all for today with me, guys. Thank you very much, and I hope I see you on Thursday. Thank you very much. Take care.